receive your applause. Tonight, the mother of Ashley Baker, Joanne Baker, is here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Yurcak Field on the campus of Rutgers University, where this evening it's National Women's Soccer League action between the visiting Seattle Reign FC and the homestanding Sky Blue FC. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Laletta is at field level. We'll join him in a moment or two. Sky Blue FC coming off a tough 1-1 draw against Chicago the other night, conceding a goal right at the beginning of stoppage time, in a game that otherwise they really, especially in those last 10-15 minutes, really started to take it to Chicago and could have come away with all 3 points.
Yes, hello and good evening, everyone. Absolutely, Brett, you said it. They had the game wrapped up. Unfortunately for them, they conceded that late goal, which was the equalizer, and now it's a quick turnaround, 4 days between games. They have to really come out tonight, Brett, and show some courage and strength to put in a good attacking performance to try to bolster themselves back at the top of the table in this league.
So now the starting lineups going on out there. Let's see if we can pick it up.
At defender number 3, Lauren Barnes. In goal, number 18, Michelle Bedos. At forward, number 9, Tiffany Cameron. At defender number 25, Kirsten Dahlstream. At defender number 4, Kate Dinez. At midfield, number 10, Jessica Fischlock. At midfield, number 6, Kaylin Kyle. At midfield, number 19, Christine Nairn. At defender, number 7, Ellie Reed. And at midfield, number 11 and captain, Keelan Winters. The Seattle Reign are coached by Lauren Hardy. The assistant coach is Sam Lady. And now for your very own Sky Blue FC. At forward, number 9, Tanisha Adams. In goal, number 1, Brittany Cameron. At forward, number 11, Lisa Devana. At defender, number 4, Caitlin Ford. At midfield, number 17, Katie Terriers. At defender, number 2, Coco Goodson. At defender, number 5, Kendall Johnson. At midfield, number 22, Manya McCoskey. At forward, number 19, Kelly O'Hara. At defender, number 3, and your captain, Christy Rampone. And at midfield, number 16, Sophie Schmidt. The head coach for Sky Blue FC is Jim Guevara. He is assisted by Erwin Van Bennekom and Nate Kennedy.
And there's your starting lineups, as brought to us by Jim Gooley, the public address announcer. And you were mentioning it beforehand. You were wondering if Kelly O'Hara was going to get into the lineup. Indeed, she does.
Yes, absolutely. She's going to be a vital piece of this game tonight, trying to get into those critical areas, creating scoring chances for Donatova and Adams. So her back into the team really brings a lot of experience, a lot of pedigree that this Sky Blue team missed until she came in that second half. She really made a difference when she came on the field. So it's that rotation policy that's going on by Sky Blue. Your forward players run now a lot more than your flank players, especially in the back. So you're going to have to change some of those forward players, and that's a result tonight.
Our third member of the team is none other than Dan Laletta, and Dan's got some lowdown on this game. Dan, go ahead.
Guys, it's game number 5 for Sky Blue season, and for the 5th straight time, they're facing an opponent that enters the match with a 0 in the win column. Now, the last 2 matches, Sky Blue has started slow. That allowed the Flash to get their first win, and they played the Red Stars to a draw here on Wednesday night. The Reign are at the bottom of the standings, 0-3-1. They've had trouble scoring goals. So I'm looking for Sky Blue to try to start quick against a team without a win and that has been challenged to score some goals. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Good stuff out of it. The fifth straight game, as you heard him say, that they're facing an opponent who is yet to put 3 points on the board, if you will. And Sky Blue, it's a golden opportunity to get 3 points out of this match.
And you see what desperation a team plays with when they're at the bottom of the table. No need for the rain to come in tonight and panic. They're going to look to do some of the same things the Red Stars did on Wednesday. Defend first, make sure their lines are tight, keep everything tight and compact in the back, and then try to go for that first or second goal in the second half as opposed to going out and really playing in an attacking posture.
Now, one thing, Kelly O'Hara was on 2 yellow cards. One of the reasons why she sat a little bit, and also, with the quick games back-to-back here, so to speak, 2 games in 4 days, essentially. So that's always tough on a soccer player to have that compact of a schedule.
Yes, and recovery is optimal. Can these girls dial it up for a big game that they need to get a result with? Coming out and attacking takes a lot more energy than just sitting back and playing a defensive football match. So for Sky Blue, we'll see what their fitness levels are, their concentration levels are on this quick turnaround during the early stages of the season, Brett.
And there's some people in the lawn seats, people in the club seats across the way. For what's an overcast day with the threat of thunderstorms, it's a nice-sized crowd here at Yurcak Field. So we are set to go. Our referee, Miguel Panduro Jr. The assistant referees are Mark Boyko and Emily Buse. And the fourth referee is Lahovcine Carmage. We are ready to go here at Yurcak Field, as they always continue to help us out with stuff here. So Sky Blue FC and the Navy Blue home uniforms. They will go from left to right. They will kick things off here as Seattle had won the coin toss. They are in the white jerseys and socks with the Navy Blue shorts. They go from right to left. Our keepers, as we had said, at the left end, Brittany Cameron in the yellow jersey and the black shorts and socks. And at the right end, in for, well, we'll get to it in a second as Sky Blue has the ball right now, moving forward. It's not Hope Solo for Seattle. She's still out with her wrist injury and will not be in uniform for a while still. And, of course, Hope, clearly the best women's keeper in the world, and probably better than half the men's keepers in the world, too, with her skill. Not in the lineup, of course, because of the wrist surgery that she had a few months back, right before the Algarve Cup.
Yeah, and anytime you're missing a world-class player, especially in the goalkeeping area where those vital saves make a big difference in points, that's one of the reasons that led to the slow start for this team so far in these early stages of the season as well. So without a world-class star, you have to figure out what team your shape is going to take and go from there. So that being said, you have to make sure that your goalkeeping play is still going to keep you in it until Solo comes back, Brett.
Michelle Betos is in goal for the Seattle Reign, wearing the green jersey with black shorts and socks. And early on, the ball's a little flat here. And so it'll be kicked out of play. We'll get a new ball.
Yeah, maybe you can play with 2 balls at this stage. But needless to say, you see the referee taking control right away. And these girls know well enough after those first few plays whether or not the ball's inflated enough. So good job there by the center official.
And puts the ball down. We'll get going again. And our fourth official is Mr. Carmage has taken that ball away and probably will not be seeing that for the rest of the match. Midfield, head flicked on, but it's going to come all the way back. Betos just leaves it alone. And Seattle in possession of it. Just underway, 3rd minute, scoreless match here. And I'm sure already we'll have a minute of additional time for that little delay. McCoskey wants to go across, finds a player on the far side. Taking on shot just wide of the mark. Good opportunity there here in the 3rd minute, and it just skitters wide of the goal. That courtesy, I believe that was Schmidt.
Yeah, that was Schmidt, and it was a great pass out to that left-hand flank by McCoskey. Right weight, led her into the space, allowed her to create a shot. So something that they lacked in those first half of the last game on Wednesday. They're showing immediate initiative right now, and I like that playing at home, trying to really initiate the way that they play going forward.
Sky Blue FC in possession here as we are in the early stages. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down on field level here on YouTube. the NWSL channel here on YouTube 1. Ford has it, who had a glorious run that last game against Chicago and caught the bar and out. Ford crosses, couldn't get it there. Instead, it's cleared away for a throw-in. Sky Blue FC.
Yeah, and that's what I like by the 18-year-old flank player. Looking to go forward, always creating a 1v1 situation, trying to get a cross in to create danger. So good start for her on this right-hand side, Brett.
Ford will take the throw-in as the play-by-play announcer here goes and puts on his glasses as he forgets to do every game. This one goes out. It's going to be a corner kick. First one of the match, and it belongs to the ladies in the navy blue jerseys.
Yeah, in these field conditions, you want to look for those low-driven balls to create half chances. Very similar to Wednesday's night action. Balls that are played in the air, very easy to pick out by the defending team.
Low cross, much like you love to have done. And this one's deflected. Should be another corner, and in fact is.
Absolutely.
Opposite side, and there's a player down, and might have taken a little knock on that defensive attempt here. And the training staff is probably going to be coming out. And in fact, someone's already gotten up off the bench to start warming up. That somebody is Lindsay Patterson, number 16, and now another one as well. Can't quite make out the shorts number, but
that's Keelan Winters, who's down number 11.
A couple Seattle players already starting to get loose to see what the deal is with Winters, and now we're getting some people called back in to go help out with the corner kick once it is taken. Just 5 minutes in, and we're already going to have some stoppage time going on at the end of the first half in all likelihood.
Yeah, and that was a great delivery there by Adams. Low-driven ball. Make the Seattle Reign defenders get their back turned, try to make inopportune clearances, and as a result, it leads to an additional corner kick. So far, creating these set-piece opportunities in unideal field conditions are a way that you can get good goal-scoring opportunities. So the second one's coming up for Sky Blue. Let's see if Adams delivers that low-driven ball once again to that near-post area. See if she can get someone on the end of it.
Now Winters jogs off, walks off, and is hobbling a little bit, so we'll see if there's going to be a substitution early. Either way, Adams to take it. In-swinger, headed, and it's going to skip wide over the goal line for a goal kick. So, 2 corners, but no damage early on.
Yeah, and it was Coco Goodson who almost got on the end of that. Good run there. She was able to lose her marker, just stretched that a little bit too far out of her reach, but needless to say, she had the desire to get into that critical spot.
Played down here, it's Lauren Barnes, number 3, going to go over the top. And now whistle's blown. Flag is up for offside.
The National Women's Soccer League is celebrating its inaugural season. Visit
7th minute here at Yurcak. We are scoreless on what is an overcast day. There is some storms expected, although right now the weather, much like Wednesday, has cooperated at least during game time. Let us only hope that that continues. And then sent right back out. One of the things Seattle's had a problem with is Denisha Adams is on the ball and gives it up. One of the things Seattle's had a problem with is possession, and they might have some here. Adams couldn't cut it back, though. Taken away, and now Seattle in possession. But as I was saying, one of the things they've had problems with is possession. They've been badly out-possessed in their games thus far, and it might be one thing to look at here tonight as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough for them to come up and dictate play, to build out of the back, to really integrate every player going through midfield spots. For them, they're going to try to have to get quicker attacks going since possession really is their weak spot, although they're showing a nice spell here.
And then just when you say that, it's turned over, and here goes O'Hara. Long ball is not going to find its mark. The mark was Devana. Big collision. Foul's going to be called. It's going to go against Sky Blue FC, and that was a knock to say the least. And it was between Schmidt and can't quite tell who was on the receiving end of it, but it looks like everybody's up and okay.
And once again, that was Keelan Winters, but Schmidt there going shoulder to shoulder, strong at the challenge, not shying down, and that's one of the reasons that she's able to get into those advanced positions and be the leading goal scorer on the Sky Blue team with 3 goals already. Not willing to shy away from confrontation, but also had that desire to get into the 6-yard area, which really leads to goals, Brett.
By the way, might as well let you know, game time temperature here tonight was 67 degrees with scattered thunderstorms in the neighborhood. And so hopefully though, the weather holds up for these 90 minutes of soccer, plus addition. Seattle in possession of it here, 9th minute. We are still scoreless. A little dangerous going back, but it eventually does get there, and Jessica Fishlock, number 10.
Yeah, and Fishlock is their playmaker, their catalyst, although she turns it over there.
Turned it on over and nearly getting to it. And not quite able to. And now Sky Blue comes forward. Cross attempt is just going to be knocked away neatly by Kate Deans, number 4. And again, just outside the 18. Chance here. Cross, nice job. He had the post covered. Didn't have to make the save anyway, but had the post covered, did Betos, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, good idea there by O'Hara. Get the quick shot off on these slick conditions. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't get it far post on frame, but very good idea, really keeping the goalie honest at these first 10 minutes of the game. Try to create a half chance for your other goal scorer, Devana, who's in the area.
And this one is making correction. Foul's going to go against Seattle. Sky Blue's got a free kick here. Just had to make a correction to my roster. Katie Friels wears number 17. So don't mind me. Free kick here. Rampone's going to take it and puts one long. Headed down against Seattle. Right now, there has not been much action in the half to our left. And Seattle's had a tough time getting midfield. And when they do, this is the first real spell of possession here. And it's going to be scooped up nicely by Rampone. She's going to go play it back to her goalkeeper, Brittany Cameron, who's played now all 5 games.
Yeah, and that was great reading of the game by Rampone. World class at best. Nice, easy touch. Made the pass. Unfortunately, it was hit out of bounds. But it's that reading of the game that really makes her special. And that ball was overhit for number 9.
That number 9, by the way, is Tiffany Cameron.
Yeah, so Cameron there just couldn't get on the end of it. Overhit a little bit. So early crosses are on for both teams. They realize that the slick playing conditions really lead to quick early crosses. Get the goal.
Everybody's playing in the league tonight. So we hope to, at some point, get some scores for you. Midfield here, good chance now. Winters moves forward. Here's Nairn, number 19. Plays it on for Winters again. Winters puts one across, dies down. A header is just going to go over the bar, actually wide the mark as well. Goal kick for Sky Blue FC.
Yeah, decent cross there by Winters. Adams got on the end of that. Needed to be a little bit lower, but had good shape on there. And you can see what they're really trying to do the second time, trying to get Adams in behind the back 4, get on the shoulder of Rampone or Coco Goodson, really elevate, try to get that ball on goal.
Seattle's played 4 matches. They've only scored 2 goals. Sky Blue has scored 5 in their 4. Sky Blue, of course, coming in at 2-1-1 on the season, 7 points. And Seattle 0-1, no wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses, so the lone point. Good dispossession there. Moving forward is Fishlock.
Yeah, and that was a great tackle there. Great timing by Fishlock, dispossessing, distributing. What a holding midfielder's role is these days. Get it, pass it, distribute.
Sky Blue coming the other way. Chance a little bump from behind. Not like it was going to matter. Devana. And sent back in and headed back out. A little bit of midfield play. McCoskey's got it. Wanted for Adams. Instead, it's deflected away. Glad you can join us here on YouTube. 12th minute, actually now 13th minute. We are still scoreless here at Yurcak. Seattle Reign and Sky Blue FC. This one goes all the way. It's going to actually be kept in by Goodson. They'd rather play with their feet. And now back to Cameron.
Yeah, and I like this. Build a little bit. String some passes together. Get a rhythm through the midfield areas. Then incorporate forward play into feet. Up, back, and throughs are on this wet night. But it's got to be quick combinations to goal once you get into that final third. Don't allow this Seattle Reign roster to really set up and dictate the play for you offensively. So that's what Coach Kabara talked about. A little bit more patience on the possession end, which Sky Blue now are starting to institute.
And they'll institute through Adams. Can give a ball. Tried to find Devana. It was just a little too far out of her reach. Adams and Devana are among the top 10 in shots on goal, and yet between the two of them, they have a grand total of 0 goals.
Yeah, but it's that combination play outside that really allows the other players to get involved. So that will come as this season progresses, but they do play well together. nice little quick paces and passes that they play to try to get each other involved, always looking for one another. So it really is a nice combination which allows other players to get involved, Brett.
Of course, the leading scorer is Sophie Schmidt. She's got 3 goals, all in the last 3 games. The beautiful header late in the match against Chicago last time out. Thought that was the winner until Chicago equalized in stoppage time. Onside here, far side of the field. And now a lot of people calling for it. Oh, nice break up there, but right onto the foot of Friels. Takes a look, gives it on O'Hara. A little too hard, so O'Hara's got to go back and get it. And instead, not able to, as Tiffany Cameron comes away. Momentarily now back to Ford. Ford, low cross, knocked away. And once again, Seattle having done well to deal with that threat. But again, a lot of possession in this size. This one's a little too far for O'Hara. Possession's been a lot in the Seattle half of the field thus far.
Yeah, and so far Sky Blue's been doing a real good job pressing in that midfield area, not allowing Seattle to really build up play, although Fishlock has a little bit of room there to distribute. A fine ball over the top, by the way.
And that is a fine ball. Nairn's trying to run onto it. Does so, but it's going to be cleared away by Cameron.
And so you can see what their plan is. Quick passes forward. Try to hit it over the top. Get Goodson and Rampone. Turn around in a foot race. See if they can defend their pace up top.
Trying to find Adams. Couldn't get it to her. Midfield. Nice tackle there, but still coming away with a couple tackles. Seattle and Sky Blue both trying to come away with possession, and instead Fishlock eventually gets it. And now to Cameron. We got a chance. We're going to go down to the field. Go ahead, Dan.
Guys, one of the things I looked forward to coming into this match was getting an up-close look at Jessica Fishlock. Her ability to win balls in midfield has been well documented so far. But from being down here, what has struck me to this point is that she's not the tallest player in the midfield, but she has badly outjumped 2 different Sky Blue players on a couple of 50-50 balls. So she's winning balls not only on the ground, but anything in the air coming off a goal kick. Fishlock is odds-on to win that battle.
And it's a good point because we've been mentioning her name a few times already up here. Fishlock doing the job, and there she is again winning a ball at midfield. The aerial prowess of Jessica Fishlock probably helping out in trying to gain possession for Seattle.
Yeah, to sit in that role just in front of the back four, you have to be a good technician now on the ball. You have to have a good passing range. It's the modern area where the midfield starts from, and it's really a spot that takes a lot of talent to play, a lot of desire and heart to stick your foot in on the tackle, and then also try to make a penetrating pass at the same time.
Well, that was a nice little pass there, and here comes penetration. Sky Blue trying to gain zone. Devanna cuts it back. Devanna gives it on off. Here's a shot, but couldn't quite generate enough power on it, did Schmidt. And it was an easy save there for Betos.
Yeah, and once again, it was Schmidt who was there in that 6 area who had the opportune chance. Unfortunately for her, didn't get enough weight on it to beat the goalkeeper. But once again, Schmidt popping up in those very important positions, which is really the key so far for this early transitional part of the season for Sky Blue.
Oh, nice little through, and it will stay in. Yes, it will. Good job by O'Hara. O'Hara puts one across. Oh, nearly dealt with a little sloppily there. I do believe that was Zura, number 2, that couldn't get to it, or didn't get ahead to it. Instead, it is cleared out.
Yeah, that was a nice teasing ball there by O'Hara. Right curl on it. Really put the defender at odds, didn't know what to do with it. And those are those quick early crosses throughout the night that lead to great opportunities, especially on a field that's a little bit slick as this field is playing tonight, Brett.
I want to remind everybody the next Sky Blue FC home game here at Yurcak Field is June 1st at 7 p.m. when the Boston Breakers make the first of 2 appearances here in Piscataway. To get tickets to that and all Sky Blue FC home games, go on to the team's website, skybluefc.com. I know that's a few weeks from now. Sky Blue FC's got 3 on the road. Portland on the 16th, which is going to be very difficult, and this Seattle Reign team on the 19th. Another one of those 2 games in 4-night deals, but that a lot of these teams from the East Coast will do that on the West Coast, as will the West Coast coming back here. And then the last one is at FC Kansas City on the 25th, and then they come home. Which will, by the way, start a stretch of a lot of home games. One thing, as you were going to say in a moment, cross is going to be dealt with. Go ahead.
That's why it's very vital to get 3 points tonight. Those next 3 road games, especially from the Midwest going to the West Coast, very difficult. You're going to have to really bring it in order to compete to try to get all 9 points. So this is a huge match for them to try to pick up these 3 points and put them atop the table once again.
After that 3-game Western swing, Sky Blue will play 7 of the next 10 after that here at Yurcak. So that's, getting 5 out of your first 8 games on the road really, to me, I've always thought of, having those road spells early is a good way to build team camaraderie.
Yeah, and there's less pressure on the road. You're expected to win at home. You're expected to attack. You're expecting to have enthusiasm. The home team always has the pressure. So a lot of times playing on the road frees people up.
Uh-oh, this is a chance here. Moving on to it is Dahlstream, the former Sky Blue player. She shoots, and it's going to be knocked away. Good job defending there by Goodson. Dahlstream's got it back. Wants to lay it back off. A little too hard on the touch. It's going to go out. First dangerous opportunity for the Seattle Reign, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, you can see Goodson just turned off there for a minute. That ball was a very flighted ball over her shoulder, allowing the attack on goal. But needless to say, she also made the intervention as Gabaro gives some online instructions to Devana. So once again, you see that the away team, Seattle Reign, is able to attack. They're able to create chances. It's going to be very dangerous tonight. And just similar to Wednesday night, Brett, the longer this game goes 0-0, the more confidence they're going to gain. The more willing they're going to be able to come out of their shell.
No. Now, right now, they're still in it. Back in it, I should say, as Adams puts one through. Offside flag is up. That was offside. Devana doesn't like it, but she was off by a good 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, now they've switched Devana and O'Hara. Devana now out on the outside on the flank. A little bit more pace in O'Hara, try to get those balls played through to her to try to create goal-scoring opportunities into O'Hara. So it's that constant interchanging of positions, which really brings a dynamic look to the Sky Blue attack as this game goes forward.
Played out. It's going to be a Seattle throw-in. You can feel the mugginess in the air, even though the temperature is cool. It's a very sticky night. As 2 balls have now come on the field, one of them cleared off, so we play on.
Yeah, good job by the ref there, letting play go on.
Just reminds me of Zog Sports, where that happens on quite a frequent occurrence, being that you have 2 fields back-to-back. A ball does wander onto one field from time to time, and you just clear it off and you keep on going.
Yeah, there's Fishlock once again on the intervention against Adams on the sideline. So you see she's got that freedom in that midfield area to roam, to tackle, to prowl, to distribute.
And somehow I got a Zog Sports reference in there. Sky Blue off the dispossession, coming the other way. In the area, nice job defensively to break it up. And down to the turf, I do believe that is that O'Hara down? Yeah, it is, number 19. O'Hara on the turf. Took a little knock there, but she's up and okay. 21st minute here at Yurcak. We are scoreless. Every 15 minutes, we will toss it down to the pitch where Dan Loletta will give us his lowdown. He, of course, of Loletta's lowdown on the Equalizer. Check that out, equalizersoccer.com, which is always part of my pregame prep, by the way. Need to go on. Jeff Kassouf does an outstanding job with that website. Goes back all the way to the keeper, Betos, who goes long. Chested down, and on comes Seattle. Chance here for Fishlock. She's going to put a ball long. Is it getting a little too hard on the skip? A little slick on the surface there, and Sky Blue comes the other way on the distribution. Ford. She's capable of a run. This goes out. It goes out, and it's going to go for Seattle.
And that's one thing that Seattle really has to watch is those marauding runs by Ford, getting into those great areas to allow the forwards to run off her, get better goal-scoring chances. And you can see that they're very cognizant now of her ability. They sat back in a more of a 4-4-2 formation now, just allowing 2 forward players at top. Sometimes it's Cameron, other times it's Dahlstream. So they're going back and forth, really just trying to keep this Sky Blue team at bay, not allowing them to be too creative in that final third area, and then counter with very quick attacks going into those offensive areas, Brett.
And it's back now here, 23rd minute. That cross way too hard, and not too happy with herself. I do believe that was Goodson. No, it wasn't Goodson. We'll check out who it was in a moment. Either way, Seattle's got the free. It was McCoskey that went too hard. I saw it too, but I didn't see the second one. Turned over and the other way. Nice job by Friels to move it forward. frills, and they got numbers if they really hurry. Instead, they're going to put one long, and not sure if that was the best option.
Yeah, they had two players wide out right. O'Hara was wide open, 20 or 30 yards of space. The goal to attack Bright. And as you said, it's that direct play to Devana. It's very predictable, very easy to defend as this game goes on. So they have to really make a more variety in their passes going forward to really keep this Seattle Reign defense a little bit more honest as opposed to just easy pickings where those balls are played direct for Devana every time.
Is it possible that Jim Gabarra's got his troops doing that early, setting them up for something wide later on?
Well, they know that they have the pace, the skill, and the technique to really win this game. They want to show them some different looks and absolutely perhaps play a little bit more direct the first half, see if you can get that go-ahead goal, which will move the team up, force the Seattle team to come out of their shell a little bit, but also then you can change your tactics in the second half. And you saw what happened the second half the other night. This Sky Blue team played much better.
Oh, here goes Ford. Oh, nice ball off for O'Hara. Here it is wide. O'Hara crosses it with the right. It's low. Not quite driven as she would have liked. And then comes back out to the midfield. And now back to Goodson at the midfield stripe. Back to the captain, and that's Christy Rampone. She a Jersey native, which all us Jersey natives are proud of. You know,
one of many.
We love our own.
Yeah, one of many great soccer players to come out of the state of New Jersey. In my opinion, the best state for the game for a long time on the men's and women's side. Always creating great players, great coaches, great culture. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. That's why it produces such valuable stars.
Men's side, Ramos, Miola, you know.
Claudia Reina.
The list goes on and on. It's a rich soccer history in New Jersey, and I don't think, you know, it's one of those underrated things. Not that it's overlooked completely. Let's not mistake ourselves. But at the same time, it's one of those things that you're so used to hearing the North Carolinas and the Texas, you know, and all that. But people don't realize, not many people realize that New Jersey's turned out some good ones as well.
Oh, absolutely. It all started on the hotbed of the Passaic River along Norwalk and Patterson and just grew from there. The playgrounds of Kearney and Harrison, and as a result, you have thousands of young girls playing the sport at a very high level, professional levels, college.
Played forward by Ford now. Ford, always dangerous to do something like this, and then instead she decides to give it off to Adams after making one person miss. Now Devana trying to run onto this one, gets to it first, tries to spin away, kind of grabbed off, but our referee there, Miguel Panduro, was having none of it. We play on.
And I like Ford's confidence there. Make those runs. Attack the back four with your dribble. Make that incisive pass there for Devana. She let herself down a little bit there with the final result, but needless to say, it's those integrating of players constantly from different angles that's really going to open up this Seattle team as this game progresses.
On to defeated Christine Nairn, number 19, I should say. Nairn is going to play it forward. Far side, this is Cameron. Fishlock, play nice ball forward. Here comes a chance. Chance on the cross. Nice job of clearing by Goodson. And Sky Blue will come the other way, and the crowd gives an appreciative round of applause. We try to turn on the ambient mic a little bit more. Ooh, nearly getting through is Devana, but a good job with dispossession. Seattle's going to come the other way and play it to the feet. Cameron and plays it wide. Seattle trying to get possession, 27th minute here, just trying to build something, a little bit of an attack. They're going to switch the field of play with a diagonal ball. And this is going to go a little too far. It runs out for a throw.
Yeah, but a little bit more positive action in their play, trying to really get players forward now. In that case, it was Barnes, but that ball was a little bit too far. So, once again, it's been that final ball that's let them down, whether it's been from Fishlock, whether it's been for Barnes. They really just have to piece it all together now to really create attacks. You saw that last attack they had up, back, and through. Look for Cameron in the 6. It was a good intervention, though. So, once again, they'll get confidence as this game goes on and try to throw more numbers forward to really try to get that all-important road goal.
Scoreless here, 28th minute. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level. Glad you can join us here on YouTube, the NWSL YouTube channel. Ball comes across and headed down and away by Rampone.
Yeah, and Dahlstrom really has to make a pass on that one. Very easy for Rampone to sit there and intercept that ball, but that's what Sky Blue wants. Play those balls direct. They can just stay central, don't have to be sucked out of positions. They can really just stay their tactic.
McCoskey played it wide, and Adams let it run on. Here's a cross Not quite getting. Oh, and then it's almost sloppily taken care of, but cleared away. Seattle, some nervy moments there at the back. And instead, it's going to come away and onto the foot of Kaylin Kyle, number 6. First time we've called her name. Although she's had the ball a couple times. Now onto the foot here. Shot right at goal. Chance there for O'Hara, but it was right at Betos.
Yeah, and you see what the pressure on the back four of Seattle does. It allows them to pass the ball in the midfield where they don't want to. Quick counters by Sky Blue. Another opportunity. O'Hara not able to get enough power on that shot in order to cause any type of trouble. But needless to say, it's the second or third time in the first half, Brett, that they've really conceded the ball in that midfield area, which is going to turn them into making a costly mistake eventually. It's going to happen.
They're starting to find the holes in the Seattle defense, and that could become a big problem, especially if Sky Blue can find a way to convert on one of their opportunities. This one goes all the way to Cameron, and she'll look to play it away here.
Yeah, no real pressure by the Seattle Reign team. Very happy to sit back, play 2 lines of 4, have Fishlock really be the general out there.
Played down, a little tug from behind. Devanna tried to get it back. Battle in the mid and comes away. Goodson now plays it midair. McCoskey couldn't get to it. Instead, it's going to be played back to the captain eventually. Cross now to Goodson. Ford. Ford takes a look. No run here. Instead, she's going to play forward. Foul from behind. That was a clear foul. Easy call for Panduro, and it'll be a free kick. O'Hara draws it.
Yeah, costly free kick there for Danes. Didn't really need to come up on Devanna. She was going negative anyway, so this leads to a good set-piece opportunity here for Rampone. Let's see what she can deliver.
Two in the wall here for Rampone to distribute diagonally. Coming out, punching away, Betos, but a shot, score! Denisha Adams jumps on the loose ball and puts it home. Sky Blue in the 30th minute have drawn first blood, 1-0.
Yeah, right place, right time for Adams. She was standing on top of the 18-yard box. Ball came right to her. Didn't really put that much power into it. Just hit it cleanly. Great technique. Takes its deflection, and as a result, they get that vital early goal in the first 30 minutes that they really needed in order to set the tone for this game.
And at 30th minute, Dan Lauletto, we go down to him again.
That's a well-deserved first goal of the match for Sky Blue FC. They've been pressuring very well tonight. Lisa Devanna, especially in the first 18 or 20 minutes, her work rate was absolutely off the charts. Christy Rampone on the other end, she took that free kick, but on the other end, she got a nice cheer. World-renowned soccer mom Christy Rampone, a nice cheer at introductions, and she's putting on a clinic defensively. Not much getting by her tonight, if anything.
Absolutely not. It was a complete build-up. So for Denisha Adams, it's her first goal of the season, and we were talking about it. They're top 10, her and Devanna, in shots on frame, and yet they hadn't had a goal to show for it. Well, that just changed right there.
Yeah, and one of those times it's better to be lucky than good. It took a great deflection for her, went the opposite direction.
And now O'Hara leaves it off, long range. Now Sky Blue is starting to feel it a little bit because they're starting to crack shots from all over the place. That one courtesy of Sophie Schmidt, looking for her 4th in 4 games.
Yeah, and you can see O'Hara and Adams and Devanna now really starting to feel good, starting to interchange, quick short passes, going to goal, creating havoc for the Seattle back four. So as a result, let's see if they can continue to muster up the energy to go forward, continue to press, get that second goal before halftime, Brett.
32nd minute, 1-0, a 30th minute goal by Denisha Adams, her first of the season. That's where we stand right now at 1-0. Ball's played long a little too far and goes out. Devanna was supposed to be on the receiving end of it and just skipped away. Glad you can join us here on YouTube. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletto down at field level. Sky Blue FC with a 1-0 lead courtesy of Denisha Adams. Pouncing on a rebound off of a clearing attempt there by Michelle Betos. She tried to punch it away. Instead of punching it upwards, it came down. She sort of missed it a little bit and came down right to the foot of Denisha Adams, who pounced on it.
Yeah, and a lot of times now the modern goalkeepers are taught to punch the ball. Unfortunately for her, she didn't get enough pace on it. Falls right to Adams, and as you said before, clinical finish, 1-0 Sky Blue.
It's That's one of the things, and I've played keeper a little bit, not at an elite level, but it's one of those decisions where, if there's a crowd, the first thing that comes to mind is I better punch this as far as I can. And I think it might have been a situation where Beto's try to overhit it. And sometimes when you overhit, it's like a boxing match. You try to swing so hard, you miss the target sometimes. Here's O'Hara. Don't get me involved in boxing because I have an opinion on the Mayweather fight. Well, it wasn't much of a fight, but that's another story.
The champion.
Yeah. Speaking of putting on clinics, Mayweather put on a clinic a couple weeks ago, and right now, Sky Blue, clinical thus far here, 1-0. Here's Ford. Ford slams on the brakes, tries to get back up, and it goes out for a Sky Blue throw-in. Good job by Ford sticking with it.
Yeah, I love Ford's play going forward. You could see what that goal did. It really injected some life into the Sky Blue team, now attacking from all angles.
O'Hara tried to play through. Comes back away. O'Hara's going to have it again. Ooh, stumble there. Devanna turns. Ooh, nearly fed O'Hara. Adams takes a look, just chips one, and thought she had O'Hara going left. Instead, O'Hara went right. And cleared it away. And right now, every ball played long by Seattle is being gathered by a lady in a navy blue jersey.
Yeah, and that's her mentality, to come out and hunt in packs. Don't allow this Seattle team to get any type of rhythm of passing in the midfield area.
Sky Blue FC with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of an Adams 30th minute goal. We are in minute number 35 here. Adams blocks that attempt, but it still gets to its target. And now on the ball is Fishlock. Goes across, finds her target. It's Barnes. Lauren Barnes going to send one across again. Headed away by Rampone nicely. Just so calm with the back there, Rampone. Saw that ball coming in and knew she had to head it down, and now a chance, not too much, a 1-1v2. It could be a problem. It is. On comes Devanna. Devanna, score! There is a clinical finish. Lisa Devanna's first of the year. It's 2-0 Sky Blue FC.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions before this game started. Can Devanna get going? Right there, right place, right time, the pressure, able to strip, go 1v1, world-class finish, just pass it into the corner. Really no need for her to put any pace or power on the shot. And as a result, now they get that second goal, as I mentioned before halftime, 2-0, Brett.
Why do you get it's just what you said, too. The first goal goes, and you see that confidence just jump out. And it almost looks like Sky Blue FC, they smell blood in the water right now. And just when we say that, Laura Harvey, the head coach for Seattle Reign FC, has gotten every substitute.
Yeah, certainly they're putting in a performance tonight, responding to Wendy's result. They were not too happy with the 1-1 end-all draw, so now they're coming out really dictating the pace, dominating in every facet of this game. Really haven't allowed this Reign team to move up together as a team, cut off their passing angles and channels, and as a result they get that easy goal off of the turnover.
Unassisted goal as Devanna dispossessed the defender, and thus 2-0. Devanna in the 35th minute, 5 minutes after Denisha Adams put the first one home. And here comes Sky Blue FC again. 3v5 as it ends up turning out. Adams, it's deflected, and it's going to go wide for a corner kick, the third for Sky Blue FC.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, once you turn it around offensively, everyone wants to get involved. Everybody's willing to make the run forward. Everyone's willing to try to get in advanced positions. And as this game progresses into this first half, let's see what the Sky Blue team can do for the last 9 minutes or so, Brett.
One of the things we see it Ford on this side, on the near side, but on the far side, we haven't mentioned her name because the plays have been developing quickly. But Kendall Johnson, number 5, is really developing it on the far side. One of the things to look out for, as this one swung out swinger, going to bounce down. But Kendall Johnson and Caitlin Ford really putting some pace from the outside defensive positions.
Yeah, and their job is just to pin this Seattle Reign roster back to make sure that their back four can't get going. They've done a good job by creating an attacking force. And that being said, the best methods of defense sometimes are the attacking prowess that you show. And so far, they've done a very good job at just pinning back the ears of this Seattle Reign team, not allowing them to play out of the back or get forward.
And, of course, the Seattle Reign team missing 2 allocated players. Hope Solo being the big headliner. It's just when you're shorthanded to begin with, and with the various different roster rules in the NWSL, it makes it tough, and that's why Seattle's gotten off to the slow start, and right now down 2-0. And once again, here comes Sky Blue FC. Johnson leaves it on to the left side. Played across. Adams tries to turn, does so. Adams goes down, no call, and rightfully so. Didn't think there was much contact on that one. Thought Adams was trying to draw it a little more, but she's got the ball back. Edge of the area, back to Ford now, outside of it. Played across, back heel, and almost getting to it as trying to get onto the scoreboard is Sophie Schmidt. Two of her teammates have already done so. She wants a piece of the action as well. Not that Sophie needs any more. Well, she could always gather more goals. She's had 3 in the last 3 games. Leads Sky Blue FC in goal scoring. She has 3 of now the 6. Coco Goodson, I should say. And, of course, today, Adams and Devana, the other goal scorers for Sky Blue FC. Their 7th, by the way, came via the own goal. And that was in the opener here. 39th minute, 2-0 Sky Blue FC. Adams in the 30th, Devana 35th. And Sky Blue looking for more. This is brought forward with some patience here. Now Adams. It's not a full rush forward as they're measuring out their attack. Cross is knocked away right to the foot of McCoskey, who tries to go back long. Instead, it's going to be a Seattle throw.
Yeah, now it's time for Seattle. What type of questions do they have now to ask of Sky Blue? What are they going to change at halftime coming up in 5 minutes? Are they going to try to go to a different tactical formation? Are they going to make a few substitutions? Clearly, this last 10 minutes, they've been demoralized by the Sky Blue team. Their midfield pressure, their constant attacking ability, and as a result, they're going to have to change their tactics to try to get at least one goal to try to make this an interesting game in the second half, Brett.
Because otherwise, right now, the way the first 40 minutes, or 39 as it is right now, as we're in the 40th minute, the way the first 39 have gone, this has been entirely Sky Blue's first half. And we were talking about it. Possession's been Seattle's problem, and it's rearing its ugly head again here tonight because Seattle hasn't had much possession here in the first half. Chance on. It's going to be cornered. Oh, it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, when you can't possess the ball, you can't set up offensively, you can't allow players like Cameron and Dahlstrom to really get forward, to get in those good goal-scoring positions that they desire to try to make something happen for your team. So really it's in this back 4 area, in the midfield area, where they really need to work as this season goes on to try to create more chances, to have better technique, but more importantly, just to try to keep the team working all together as a unit, Brett.
At the midfield, Sky Blue FC back in possession. 41st minute, a 2-0 Sky Blue FC lead. And this is Ford playing it diagonally. And again, they're looking, it doesn't matter where that ball is, they're looking for a one-touch pass to spring somebody. That's the hole they've found. That's the adjustment they made after, say, 25 minutes or so, and really started to find holes in the Seattle defense, and it was through one touch.
Absolutely. Seattle's just waiting for halftime now to get reorganized. Really, their back 4 have let them down. They haven't been organized enough to deal with the pace of Devana. They haven't really been able to deal with O'Hara, who's really had some good interchanging plays. And that being said, you have to make sure that you can secure up at your halftime situations to make sure the second half, at least you have a fighter's chance to try to get a goal.
Long ball cross. Going to be played. It's going to stay in. Good job here by Cameron to chase it down. Takes a look, sends it across. Bouncing ball comes out towards the Sky Blue FC bench. It's going to stay in play, though, with the English on it. And a chance here for Ellie Reed, number 7, to play it across. Instead goes the short route, and now Kaylin Kyle right to Cameron. 42nd minute of a 2-0 match here at Yurcak Field. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level and enjoying the evening down there. The rain has held out, the actual rain, not Seattle rain. The weather has held out thus far. And Seattle Reign FC have not been able to get on the board.
Yeah, but there's no pressure, Brett. They're not going after Rampone or Coco Goodson. They're allowing them to pass the ball around there freely to try to find those open spaces in the midfield. Not really going after them to try to dictate the game, although they're down 2-0. So we're going to see if they're just saving that for the second half. But needless to say, Sky Blue has come out and put on a great performance in this first half, getting the 2 goals, created off of pressure, allowing them to have confidence and go after a few more goals in the second half. But for me, this Reign team really hasn't instituted any type of desire or strength on the road, which you need to get a point in this league.
Is it one of those situations that they're just, they know that they're shorthanded and they want to just try to, they want to just try to, this one play diagonally and Betos does a good job to smother. Is it one of those things where they're just trying to counterattack and they need to just play this kind of a shell because they're shorthanded?
Absolutely. That being said, also it could be just a lack of the players, a lack of quality.
Yeah.
All right, you could clearly see the Sky Blue players are a little bit more sprightly, active to the ball, challenging in the midfield. So clearly they're outmanning this away team. And needless to say, that's where the coaching aspect comes in. What did you work on during the week? What were your tactics? What were your training ground routines to try to get your team ready? If you're outmanned, then you have to come up with a great plan in order to beat teams that are better than you.
I'll tell you, Jim Gabbard has really had this team ready after having played Wednesday night. Here goes Adams. Adams puts it across, played down. O'Hara trying to fight her way through. It's played away just barely. Adams is going to step up on this one, though, and challenge some more. Seattle having trouble just clearing their lines, and finally they do. Down on the turf is Reed. She gets up slowly.
Yeah, and there's not enough of that. What Reed just gave, just that desire and heart, as you see from O'Hara and from Adams, just that willingness to try to win the ball back, to try to go forward, to make something happen for your team, which is something that this Seattle team is really going to have to sort out in the second half, or they can end up conceding 4 or 5 goals this evening as opposed to just the 2 that have been scored on already.
Turnover, shot from distance is blocked. Devanna's going to go chase this one down. That shot taken by Friels. Now Schmidt going to line it up. Instead lays it off. 50-50 ball is going to be popped in the air, and Seattle wants to come away with it, but every time they do, it seems like there's a navy blue jersey lurking as we're in the 45th minute. Uh-oh, long ball. This is onside. Chance here. Flicked forward. And stumbling, not able to get to it, was Fishlock. She had played around Cameron brilliantly, and if she had not lost her footing, we got ourselves a 2-1 game.
Yeah, mistake there in the back 4, but Fishlock showing that initiative that I just talked about that they were lacking, almost led to a goal-scoring chance, but that's what the Seattle team needs to do. They really need to compete in the midfield, really show that they're willing to go forward and have the heart, and as a result, it could lead to a brilliant chance. Unfortunately for Fishlock on that chance, she wasn't able to convert.
1 minute of additional time will be added in the next 20 seconds or so. And so we will play that way. Right now, 2-0 Sky Blue FC. Seattle had an opportunity there, and that would have made things interesting at halftime, and I'm sure Coach Kabara, the most successful women's coach in professional levels, as he's been in all 3 women's professional leagues, I'm sure he would have had a thing or two to say at halftime.
Oh, absolutely, and he's really got this team ready to play, as you said, after that quick turnaround, really coming out there with the fire and desire to compete, to put in a performance, to make sure that you can get the 3 points at home, which sets you up for the rest of the season.
Chance here, long distance, is going to go well off the mark. Kendall Johnson wanted a crack at it.
Yeah, and that time it was Johnson coming forward. So you have Ford, Johnson, all right, 4 or 5 other players that are constantly going forward, really keeping the Seattle team guessing at 6s and 7s in the back, not really organized, not knowing where the next attack is coming from, and as a result, they can't play out of the back.
It's not a game without Eric Studnicki saying 6s and 7s. I've learned that a long time ago. We always have fun up here in the booth. Stoppage time here. It's 2-0. Sky Blue FC with the lead. And a little fortunate that it has stayed at 2-0. This is played out towards the expensive seats on the far sideline. I call them the expensive seats just because you're right up there on the action.
Yeah, best seats in the house, Brett.
Oh, God, those are awesome seats. Or maybe second best seats next to where Dan Lalette is sitting right now. And there is the halftime whistle. We've come to the end of the first half. Sky Blue FC, with the exception of 1 or 2 counterattack possibilities by Seattle, Sky Blue FC has completely dominated the first half of play, and they lead 2-0.
Yeah, you have to give credit to Sky Blue. They've really come out, set the tone for this match. Been an attacking team, really been positive in their attitude, willing to go forward, willing to make sacrifices, and as a result, they have those 2 goals, which really sets them up for a good rest of the second half and the rest of this game, Brett.
Well, we'll take a time out here on YouTube. Dan Lalette is coming up to the booth. The 3 of us will discuss what happened first half of play here. At halftime, at Yurcak Field, it is Sky Blue FC 2 and the Seattle Reign 0. We're back after this brief intermission, if you will, here on YouTube. Back here at Yurcak Field, halftime. 2-0 Sky Blue FC with the lead over, as I adjust the microphones. There we go. 2-0 Sky Blue FC with the lead over Seattle Reign. Dan Laletta is back up in the booth with us. First half has been complete domination for Sky Blue FC.
Much different team than we saw here Wednesday night. Much different team than I was up in Rochester. Much different team than that night. As I said earlier, I love the way Devana is pressuring the back line, and she finally got some benefit for that. Jim Gabara keeps saying that Devana deserves a goal, and she can't deserve one any more than with what she's done tonight. She created that turnover, walked in and scored. This has been probably the best Sky Blue has looked this season.
It's one of those things, and Eric, you and I were talking about it, where that once they got that first goal, you could see the confidence level just skyrocket.
Yeah, and a lot of times in this league where teams come in with a defensive notion and posture, you need to attack, and a lot of times you get that first goal, it adds players to the attack, allows you to continue to go forward, to take more risks, and without risks, there's no rewards, and 2 goals are the reward now for the Sky Blue team as they were able to convert in this first half.
And on the flip side to that, from the Seattle point of view, Laura Harvey, the head coach, a lot more vocal than I was expecting her to be on the bench. But after Sky Blue went up 2-0, she wasn't standing anymore. She sat down, didn't say a whole lot the rest of the way. So maybe she was saving her speech and ran for halftime. But it'll be interesting to see if Seattle comes out with a fight, or if they say, you know what, we got problems here, and we're about to be 0-4-1. That's not a good way to start off.
It's one of those things that once we were talking about the confidence and everything, and you could see once Sky Blue sort of found the holes, you almost got that sense that Seattle was sitting there saying, "Oh, you know, now we got to plug this up, cover it up, and then punch, clear, goal, 1-0," and it completely deflated the balloon, so to speak. So now it leads me into the second half conversation. What in the world does Seattle have to do on their end to turn this around? I'll start with you, Dan.
Well, they need to somehow figure out a way to get possession higher up the field. Fishlock wins a lot of balls in the middle, but they don't do a lot with it. You see Kyle wins a lot of balls, but a lot of her passes don't go to anybody, or they go to a Sky Blue jersey. At one point, Lauren Barnes, the left back, made an overlapping run, but she was 5 yards the furthest player up the field. When the backs make the overlapping runs, there's got to be somebody else there to finish off that attacking play, and that play died right there because it was just Barnes and a bunch of Sky Blue players.
Yeah, and Eric, I mean, building it up, you know, where is the combination? Somewhere along the line, there's a combination that Seattle can solve this riddle here. Where is it?
Well, they're going to have to start playing a little bit more forward, as mentioned before, but not only that, they need just that heart and hustle. That's really what's been lacking. They're not really putting in, as I said before, a professional performance, which you expect, not tracking back, not chasing man down, not tackling, not creating fouls that are really trying to get this team going. And as a result, it's very easy for Sky Blue to sit back, relax, pick off the balls that are played forward to the likes of Cameron and Dahlstrom or whoever else is forward, and then go forward from there. So really it's that desire and lack of it that's really cost them this first half.
And then quickly, before we head to break, Sky Blue, they're up 2-0. They've dominated the first half. Is it a matter of don't fix what's not broken?
I think so. I hope they don't sit back on the 2-0 lead, because they have the possession. It's not a counter-attacking 2-0 lead. They're dominating play. Unless Seattle makes them do something different, there's no reason to change anything.
Yeah, you have to make sure the backs tightened up, high levels of concentration, which led to that first goal the other night. You can't concede within the first 25 minutes of the second half, because then it'll be a game and Seattle will be more and more confident. But needless to say, as mentioned before, come out, attack, dictate, dominate, and continue to create goal-scoring chances. And as I mentioned before, Brett, Seattle will be very lucky if they get out of here with only a 2-0 scoreline if they put in the same performance they did in the first half.
All right, Dan's going to head back downfield to try to catch Coach Cabara. We're at halftime here. 2-0 Sky Blue FC with the lead. We're back after this on YouTube 1. Back here at Yurcak Field, Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, 2-0 Sky Blue FC with the lead. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. There are 2 other games going on tonight. There's 1 game tomorrow. 2 other games going on tonight. Boston and Washington are at halftime. Boston's got the 1-0 lead over Washington. And then Kansas City and Western New York are playing in Rochester, and that is first half action still scoreless. As we're getting ready to start the second half, we're going to go down to Dan Lauletta. We're going to try to go down to him now. And a little bit of a mic issue again, so we will hopefully join him in a moment. Either way, second half getting ready to start.
Somerset Medical Center, the official healthcare provider.
And second half underway. 2-0 Sky Blue FC. Now they're going from right to left here. Boston, I just said. Seattle going from left to right.
Yeah, and it looks like Seattle's dropped into more 4-3-3 from that 4-4-2. Try to get that extra player forward, create chances, be a little bit more positive. And as I mentioned before at halftime, Brett, they really need to step up the performance levels, put in a more professional performance in the second half if they're looking to get a point out of this game at least, Brett.
So this one goes out for a throw-in. Seattle to take it. And goes out another Seattle throw. They'll quickly take opportunity here. Dahlstrom puts it across, headed. There's the aerial prowess of Fishlock a minute in, getting ahead to it.
Yeah, and that was the first little bit of action for Dahlstrom in quite some time. Didn't really be that much involved as that first half progressed and went on. Really fell out of the game, but they need her to pick it up. They need Cameron to pick it up. They need them to take more initiative to try to get something going forward if they want to try to get something back and try to save their season. If they continue to fall down to the bottom of the table, it's going to be very hard to climb out as the season goes on, Brett.
We're seeing in front of us here as the play continues, Notre Dame Soccer supporting Manu McCoskey. A little banner here right in front of us. Just out of camera range, which is okay, but some of the young ladies here that play soccer in the area and enjoying a Sky Blue FC game on what is less than ideal weather conditions, but it hasn't rained as of yet, knock on wood, as I knock on my forehead. We knock on wood that it stays that way. By the way, 1-0 in that Boston game. Joanna Lohman scored the goal in the 24th minute. Leanne Sanderson on the assist. That is the lone goal in that one. And, of course, the other match is scoreless at halftime. Here we're 2-0, Sky Blue FC. 30th minute goal, courtesy of Denisha Adams. 35th minute goal, courtesy of Lisa Devanna. And that's where we stand at 2-0.
And 2 well-deserved goals, if that, Brett. Really able to take the opportunities when it was presented to them. No mistakes made this time.
Out wide here is Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom tries to cut it back. Good job defending, however, by Johnson. She clears away. And instead clears it right to the number 6, Kaylin Kyle. Her cross deflected away, and now Sky Blue looks to come in the other direction.
Yeah, and Seattle's...
Collision. Yeah. Sorry about that. Collision down to the turf in a heap. Might be Devanna down there. And still stung. We play on. Now it's Reed. Reed takes a look, puts it across, instead it goes out. Now the whistle's blown, and not in good shape is Devanna right now.
Yeah, I think she took it knee to knee, which a lot of times just creates a lot of immediate pain right to that middle area of your leg. So let's see and hope that she can recover. But it looks as if this Seattle team really is trying to put Fishlock in a more advanced position, try playing off those 3 forwards. We've seen Dahlstrom more involved in the early stages of the second half than she was in the first half. So perhaps they've gone out and try to change some things, but it's going to leave them very vulnerable at the back. So they're going to come out, try to get that first goal, and try to climb back into this game as it progresses. But it also leaves them of very dangerous situations with 1v1 opportunities. That's why we'll see if Devana's able to recover from the little knock that she took. Looks to be holding her arm there.
It was a heavy collision. Both players trying to pull up and just had a collision there. And Devana not looking too comfortable. And it might force Jim Gabara to make a change early on.
Yeah, and she's really worked well in this first half, really covering a lot of ground, making different types of runs, inside-out runs from the flanks, interior to exterior runs, really posing great threats for the Seattle Reign back four.
And Sky Blue will play a woman down here for a moment as Adams clears away with a head. But now another opportunity. Ball put across by Nairn. Knocked up in the air. O'Hara will play it away. And right now they're trying to... Ooh, nice shot, but Cameron smothers. Long shot, but Cameron was able to read it all the way.
Yeah, now it was Nairn there. Rather ambitious, but needless to say, at least she took the opportunity. Once again, she went into a shell at the end of the first half as well. Was really non-existent in the build-up play or the forward play, so that's another player they have to get going along with Ellie Reed. So who's going to step up for the Seattle team as this game progresses and really take the initiative to try to make something happen? A foul in the midfield, perhaps, a dangerous play that's created off of 1v1 opportunity is what this team needs.
Devana has come back on to a polite round of applause and then proceeds to play that one out of bounds. 51st minute here at Yurcak, 2-0. Sky Blue FC with the lead. Devana wins this ball. Here comes Lisa Devana. She's got a goal already. Devana wanted to curl one instead, put it right out of bounds for a goal kick.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, she couldn't get enough shape on that curling shot. Try to go for the far post on that right-hand side, but once again, it's Devana creating the pressure, picking up the turnover right at the back four, which has really been Seattle's biggest problem all season, and they continue to give up easy goal-scoring chances, which, as I said before, could possibly lead to a few more goals by this very opportunistic Sky Blue team.
Our first substitution, as I'm sitting here trying to fix my microphone. Into the game now is number 8, Teresa Novola. And she's in for Keelan Winters. So Noyola in for, as I said, Novola, but Noyola in for Winters here to try to get something going with Seattle down 2.
Yeah, they need something. As I said, they need a little bit of energy. Let's see what she can bring to this game.
And no sooner do we say that, and here comes Seattle. Nice defensive play there. It goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and that was a critical challenge there that was made. And that being said, you can see at least the Seattle team has started to come out of their shell, trying to create numbers forward, trying to give Sky Blue a new problem to solve. I like Dahlstrom being sent out on this right-hand side, but it gives them a little bit more flexibility. She's good at going at players, good at attacking.
And this one's going to be played. Nobody getting ahead to it. Foul is called, and everybody's looking at each other, and eventually Seattle gets possession. Quick restart. Played here at the midfield by Nairn. Wants to go forward a little too far. Not able to get to it is Cameron. Cameron was hoping for a foul, but none called.
Yeah, that was a nice little diagonal run she made there off the shoulder of Coco Johnson. Good job there by Johnson.
Here's a run the other direction. Sky Blue moving. Side netting. Chance there, and it looks like Devana was lurking for number 2, but couldn't put it in.
Yeah, I like that she took that ball herself, Brett. Has to shoot that ball far post in order to make the goal and make a save, but once again, taking the initiative to show leadership, to show courage, to try to get that third goal, to build confidence.
Well, Abby Wambach has just scored in the 34th minute. Western New York has a 1-0 lead over Kansas City. Former Sky Blue FC player Brittany Taylor was involved in that play. Didn't get an assist on it. It'll go to Kerr, but Wambach scoring the goal to make it 1-0 Western New York in the 34th minute there in Rochester.
Yeah, and it's still amazing to me how much room Devana has to play tonight, even in this second half. They haven't figured out a way to really tighten the marks up on her. She's still drifting into those open pockets of space, turning, going at defenders, making passes. So if they really want to get back in this game, they're going to have to figure out a way to deal with her. She's very mobile, very fast, very elusive, and she continues to give the Seattle Reign back 4 huge problems, Brett.
And right now, the Seattle Reign back 4 just got to get it out of their own end here. 54th minute, 2-0 Sky Blue FC. Once again, Denisha Adams started in the 30th minute, pouncing on a loose ball. And here we go again, forward, and not able to quite get to it was Devana, who scored the other goal in the 35th minute, jumping all over the two remaining back there, creating the turnover and scoring on a breakaway. And that's where we stand now, 2-0. And making a run, is this onside? No, flag goes up. Yeah, referee's assistant on the far sideline, Emily Buse, was waiting, which is the proper way to do it if you're an AR, waited until that play fully developed and then put the flag up.
O'Hara left a little bit too early. That pass had to be made a little quicker to get her in that goal. But needless to say, you can still see Sky Blue asserting that pressure in this midfield area, not really letting the Seattle Reign team connect passes of any type of quality.
Now Seattle moving it forward. This is Nairn. Goes down. Foul's going to be called. And foul's going to go against Katie Friels.
Yeah, but I like that in Friels. You have to challenge there. Going hard. Something that this Reign team has really lacked all night. That little extra oomph in the midfield, if you will. That desire to really create contact. Easy to defend set pieces.
Soccer is soccer. You have to get the body in there every now and again. Got to be willing to put a foot in, as you like to say.
Absolutely. It's a contact sport.
Two in the wall, I should say. And here comes a distribution here from Nairn. Headed around a bit. Bicycle kick attempt is knocked down. Still loose in the area. Now finally cleared away. Devana couldn't get to that loose ball. Instead, it's headed out of danger and then back into it. Onside play here for Fishlock. She wants to go across. It's knocked away by Adams. Played down. Long shot from Nairn. Nope, she doesn't take it. Instead, leaves it off Fishlock. Plays it through. Flag goes up, and then it will come down as the ball goes through to Cameron.
Yeah, and that was Kyle on that time on the end of that Fishlock run, but a little bit better by this Reign team, trying to get people forward, trying to create something, and a lot of times it may just resort down to Route 1 football, Brett, playing direct, flick-ons, knockdowns, people running off the ball, creating half chances, anything to try to create good goal-scoring opportunities.
And Route 1, by the way, is not too far from here. That would be US 1. But that's not the route we're talking about. The route is going down the middle of the pitch. Instead, Sky Blue decides to go, I guess, Route 9 in this case, to the outside. Knocked down, no foul given, and Seattle comes away with it. Now Seattle's starting to pick up the physicality a little bit here in the second half, as we're seeing, and the play is a little more even thus far here in the second.
Yeah, they have to get better from their first half performance. Really not much of that in the first half.
This will be played across. Flag stays down, but unfortunately the ball slid away, and it'll be a goal kick.
But it's a better idea. It's better by Seattle. Trying to play, trying to get players that weren't doing things in the first half going forward, trying to make opportunities that didn't exist. And that really comes down to, do you have the desire to do it as a team? You're down 2-0. You have to fight. You have to believe. You have to keep playing to the last minute. And as a result, you're going to get a few chances in this game as it progresses, Brett.
Not played down. And now Sky Blue's got it. Coming away is Devana. Devana breaks away from one mark. Devana coming through the midfield. Devana trying to charge on. She wants a foul call and doesn't get it. And Lisa Devana not too happy about that.
Yeah, she's not going to get that call being 2-0 up. But once again, a very, very navigating run through that center area of the field, which she's so good at, taking on defenders, going right into the teeth of the back four.
Here at Yurcak Field, Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletto. By the way, we want to thank Dave Keeble for stepping in a pinch hitting duty here and helping out on the camera. Great job out of Dave here tonight, helping us out with the broadcast. We're here at Yurcak, 59th minute, 2-0, Sky Blue FC with the lead, courtesy of Denisha Adams in the 30th, Lisa Devana in the 35th. One substitution has been made, that being Seattle making it. And typically, Jim Guevara will wait until about the 60th before he considers his substitutions.
Really, and with a week rest, you really can keep this squad on. Don't try to change too many things. As you mentioned at halftime, things are going very well with the continuity of the team. People are progressing forward. They have a comfortable lead. They're going for more goals. So barring injury, a lot of the times the coaches will try to keep this team on, try to finish it out.
Liz Bogus is at the fourth officials table. She will get ready to check in momentarily. And with 2-0, just another option to push forward there.
But you can see Sky Blue are really giving them no opportunities to play out, although Fishlock's able to pick up the ball there. Really have done a good job not allowing her to get forward into the attack as another turnover in the midfield.
And coming back the other way, by the way, we just found out that Bogus is going to come on for Tiffany Cameron in a moment. On it here is Sophie Schmidt. She's going to play it back. Eventually Rampone goes out. Johnson gets shoved down. Easy foul there, and we're going to get ourselves a substitution. Nope, we're going to wait. Yep, there we go. Now stepping forward is Liz Bogus, and she's going to step in for Tiffany Cameron, number 9. So we're going to throw it down to Dan Lauletta. Dan, go ahead.
Guys, Seattle certainly got the energetic start they were looking for to this half. Nothing to show for it so far. They did make the early sub, taking out Winners and bringing on Nyola.
So there we go.
Not exactly sure what the injury is, but that was injury-related. Liz Bogus in now. Now let's check out this free kick.
Well, there it goes, Rampone. So we find out from Dan it is injury-related. And here's a try to go off the half volley. Instead, comes down. Opportunity still for Sky Blue. O'Hara measures up her defender and then slipped, so loses possession. And now coming away with it, and eventually Seattle clears. No, comes back in for a goal kick.
And that was a good challenge by Barnes on that right-hand side by O'Hara. If she passes her, she's in at goal. So that's sort of the posture that this back four needs to take. They need to be more aggressive.
Devana. Caught me between swigs of my drink here.
And once again, Devana has all day on the ball.
Yeah.
No one's within 5 or 10 yards of her. And when you have a player of that caliber, it's very easy for her to play passes, penetrate, go forward.
Oh, dispossessed with aggression. A shot over the bar. Well, Sophie Schmidt just made an absolute just meal of that. A physical, hard dispossession, but a clean one. Referee allowed that to go on, and then Schmidt nearly tucked it under.
Yeah, and that was against Kyle, and that's what Schmidt also brings to the table, her ability to make passes, go forward, stick her foot in, challenge, and that's really been the difference tonight. That play right there epitomizes the difference between these two teams this evening. The desire and the ability of the Sky Blue to really fight has made all the difference in the world, Brett.
Sky Blue FC now back in possession. Goodson goes up. Adams lets it go through. And then Adams gives it back off. A little 1-2-3 here. Adams with it. She's going to try to go over the top. Doesn't settle down the way she would have liked to, and instead Seattle gets to clear.
Yeah, and once again, Brett, you see those little triangles being formed by those front three of the Sky Blue. No pressure whatsoever. They're retreating, allowing them to play those 5- and 6-yard passes.
Devana wants to spin, gets dispossessed. And Devana tries to win it back. And actually creates the turnover there. And it'll be a throw-in for Sky Blue FC. So Seattle's had to use 2 substitutions. Unfortunately, one of them due to injury. And so we'll see how that goes. And Sky Blue have yet to make any subs here in the 63rd minute. And at some point, does Jim Gabarra sit there and say, all right, fine, a couple of my girls, logged a lot of minutes the last couple of nights. Do you sit them? Or are we still at 2-0 and you still got to sit there and say, you know what, not unless we go up 3 or 4 am I going to pull them out.
Yeah, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer. A lot of times you relax, you lose concentration, you decide not to go forward and attack as much, and as a result, it's easier for the other team to create opportunities to score. So you want to look for these guys to continue to put the foot on the gas, get that 3rd and 4th goal for confidence. They have a week off. This quick turnaround doesn't seem like it's affected them mentally or physically. They've had more energy, more heart, more desire going forward, and really you have to attribute that to the coaching staff to get this team ready for the quick turnaround, Brett.
Yeah, we'll see. Excuse me. Seattle with it, as I have a little problem here. Every now and again, something gets caught there, so we continue on. And I'll just have my hand on the takeover, please.
Yeah, and you can see once again Sky Blue possessed, and One of the things that they've been really working on as well is trying to hold the ball. That ball is played forward, but pops into the feet of Rampone, and it is going to be played out to Adams. Plenty of time on the ball. Plays in front of her.
And now that I'm back and able to somewhat talk again, away comes Sky Blue FC. It's O'Hara, who's now switched to the left side of the field. O'Hara likes the press box side, I guess. We'll just call it that. This goes out of play, last touched by a Seattle player.
But same thing with O'Hara. There's no more than 5 yards of her when receiving the ball.
Yeah.
It's called the mirror effect. You have to have someone right in your face. You can't allow these players 5 or 6 yards of space at this level. They'll absolutely pick you apart, Brett, which has really been the case this evening for Sky Blue. So really still bustling with confidence, going forward, creating triangles.
And, by the way, Taylor Lytle is about ready to come into the game. She's at the fourth officials table, so Gabarra's first substitution will be coming shortly. This one across. No one home on the other end of it. It's going to go out for a throw-in. And Miss Lytle will check into the game. We'll see who she's replacing. The number is up. And the substitute is going to be Denisha Adams, number 9, coming off. So Adams scores in the 30th minute to get the party started here. She plays 65 minutes and then comes off.
Yeah, great game for her. Had that go-ahead goal, as you mentioned before. Good technique. Really ran a lot for the team, for the effort, for the cause. Knew that this was an important game for them to get back on track. And as a result, she put in that stellar performance, which you need from the 3 quality front-running players that these teams have.
Now, is this a case where Lytle, even though she is, she's more of a midfielder? Is this a case now where they're just going to play one up, and are we looking at, like, say, a 4-5-1 going on?
Yeah,
here?
absolutely. You can see that they've been very good job really absorbing the pressure as that ball's played out to Lytle. So they're going to just quickly spring attacks out to her on the flank, use her pace, use her technique, and then it'll go into Vanna and really allow them to now play in a different style. You're up 2-0, allow the other team to come to you, and then as you mentioned before, play more of a 4-5-1, hit them on the break, get numbers forward on the flanks.
All right, now, aside from one bit of nerviness at the end of the first half, the Sky Blue back four has been stellar.
Yeah, and even in the last game, they were very good. And that last play of the game, which really comes down to fatigue at the end, that lack of concentration, as the coaching staff mentioned. But needless to say, one of the good things about a quick turnaround is you can get back on the field fast. You can erect those problems, and they did.
And this is played out for a throw-in. 67th minute here at Yurcak Field. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level. And as I said before, Dave Keevel stepping in and doing a great job pinch hitting on the camera this evening. Sky Blue FC, a 2-0 lead over the Seattle Reign. Seattle Reign FC trying to find their way through. Almost had one there at the end of the first half, as this one's played right into Cameron. Almost had one there at the end of the first half through Jessica Fishlock, but she had stumbled when she touched forward. The 2 Sky Blue FC goals, Denisha Adams in the 30th, who've now come off for a substitute, and Lisa Devanna in the 35th. That is the storyline here in this match, as we're at 2-0. Neither goalkeeper has made the outstanding save that we saw in the opener, that was for sure. Here's Devanna. And that's the thing, nice cross ball put over there, but gathered in by Betos. And that's the thing, though, is in this match here today, we've seen a solid effort out of Brittany Cameron thus far.
Absolutely. She's been playing fantastic. Hasn't been tested at the level that she probably would like to in terms of just keeping her performance levels up. But needless to say, she's really done her job so far. And a lot of times it's your use of feet, your distribution in the goalie area, which she's done really good at tonight, getting quick counterattacks involved. And once again, keeping that clean sheet, which really leads to confidence for the back four, as you mentioned their play before.
Jill Lloyd, and by the way, is in uniform. Shot. Oh, there's a great save. Rebound. Just when we were saying that, Brittany Cameron comes up with an acrobatic save. Corner kick, Seattle.
Yeah, full extension, raw class there. Quick offer line.
Not even a corner kick. It's a goal kick as the rebound went off a Seattle player and out.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. Just keep this team in the game, and that's a vital save right there. You don't want to allow this team to creep back into it to gain the confidence that they need to go forward in these last 20 minutes or so. So, once again, she comes up big as she has in these first 3 home games, Brett.
We were just saying, she hasn't had to make that spectacular save yet, and thank you, Brittany Cameron, for going right on cue and making a spectacular save.
Yeah, it just shows you that her concentration levels are very high. She's able to stay involved with the game, and a lot of times, a lot of goalies drift out of games, and they cause vital mistakes to the team. In that case, she came up big time.
And those You know what? We say it when I've done hockey games too. Momentum saves. That right there is, to me, a prime example of a momentum save.
Absolutely. That's a one-goal swing. It would really have put this Sky Blue team in a little bit of duress defending the last 20 minutes, things that they didn't want to do because of that save. So as a result, they're still 2 goals up. World-class save, though, for me. She really read that well. Full extension, cat-like reflexes.
And we were talking about, too, when we were prepping for the game. She has great reflexes in goal, and it just showed it right there. This one's a cross, headed away nicely by Goodson. And then a nice job by Ford to get away again. And careful, she may make a run on you. No, Ford instead trots forward and then gives it on up. Lytle just calmly plays it out to the left side, where now it is Schmidt, who again calmly plays it further left for Devanna. Devanna is going to take a look at things, then with the left foot swings it across. Back out. Here comes just a harsh first touch, and still a shot is blocked. Opportunity there for Sky Blue FC. That was through Friels. Now across. Friels tries to get to it. Does. And a shot goes right on goal. Save made by Betos.
Yeah, good cross-air by O'Hara trying to pick out Friels. Not enough pace on the shot to beat the goalkeeper. But once again, no pressure in the box for these Sky Blue players to serve, deliver.
I think it looked like it was deflected a little bit on the way in, too. So that might have been why there was not much pace on it. Which those things will happen once in a while. 71st minute, 2-0, Sky Blue FC with the lead, 2 first-half goals, and here we go again. This one is Lytle. She crosses it, header, bar, and over. Well, Sky Blue FC, after that brilliant save by Cameron at the right end of the field, they're now starting to put pressure at the left end.
Yeah,
good job there.
Yeah, that was Schmidt again, as you mentioned before, Brett, making that delayed run. Great cross, unfortunately for her, off the crossbar. But needless to say, you would think that it was the Seattle team that played on Wednesday, not really showing the vigor and vibe to come on out and really create any type of sustained attack. It's this Sky Blue team who is full of energy as this game progresses.
And now another ball. Flag stays down. Chasing it down is Devanna. Devanna lays it on off. Johnson cracks it with a left foot. Tried to find... it looked like she tried to find O'Hara and couldn't get it to her.
Yeah, and once again, it's a play of Devanna wide open. This time it's Johnson streaking in from that back position. Can't get that ball on target, but needless to say, creating more danger from another angle, keeping this Seattle Reign at bay, not really allowing them to set up defensively. And as I mentioned before, the more this game goes on, Sky Blue's gaining more and more confidence.
Midfield here. Sky Blue again in possession of it. 72nd minute, they're up 2-0.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing here. Just possession for the sake of possession. Quick early passes.
Played around, and Sky Blue back with it. Let's send it all the way back in Seattle now. Ellie Reed. Reed takes a look. Still taking a look, and then with a left foot wants to play forward. However, it's going to be gathered up neatly by Goodson. Now Johnson plays forward. Devanna turns, spins, cuts, and this is going to go out for a Sky Blue throw-in.
Yeah, she's had some games so far, Devanna, doing it on both ends of the field, offensively, defensively. Really showing her spirit, her ability to take people on, to have pride, to go forward.
Johnson puts it in with a throw, and she's going to try it again. Gives it to Friels. Going to go back. McCoskey. We haven't called her name all that much, as the ball has not found her way too often tonight. But now it's laid off. Shot is deflected. Corner number 5, I believe it is, for Sky Blue FC.
Yeah, McCoskey's done a good job just sitting in front of that back four, setting that screen, as we call it, not allowing Fishlock to get at the back four of Sky Blue. It's really about a positional sense that she's had. So she's been better from the other game, has really connected passes when need be, and as a result, it's been a quiet game, but for that holding center midfielder, a lot of times that's what you want as a coach.
Here comes the corner kick, put across, punched away by Betos, right onto the foot of Lytle, who blasted off someone. Throw in for... Couldn't quite tell who she blasted it off of, but still got knocked off of somebody, and we got ourselves a
And
throwing.
that was a second weak punch by Betos there. You have to put more on that. You have to really come out and be assertive, over punch it, as a goalie coach would say, make sure it gets clear of the 18-yard box, and as a result, they're lucky that another shot wasn't right back at her.
Friels comes off. Maddie Thompson comes on. And then we got ourselves our last Seattle substitution coming shortly. 75th minute now. The substitution officially in the 74th. Devana spins. This will be Lindsay Taylor, number 17, getting ready to come on. Goodson plays it on out wide. Now a little touch pass. And Sky Blue looking to come forward again. And it looks a little more like they're trying to drop back. You know, Sky Blue is trying to keep it back a little bit, keep it at bay, you know, knowing they're up 2 and not having to go crazy pushing forward for yet more.
Yeah, they realize that they're still not allowing the Seattle team to play out of the back, as you see that one's played out of bounds. And once again, Reed's technique has let her down, so they find it very easy to defend the midfield line, drop back a little bit if you need to, maybe to that center circle area, because really in the end, Seattle will give the ball away to you right in the midfield without a lot of pressure being applied, Brett.
This is Johnson. Johnson, a little confusion there, but Devana comes back to help out. Devana wants to rush forward. Devana wins the ball. Devana's still going. Leaves it on off. Chance here. O'Hara's going to crack one. It goes wide. We got a substitution. We got Dan Lauletta.
A few minutes ago made what may turn out to be her second game-changing save of the season. If you go back to opening day, she stoned Adriana on a penalty kick against the Flash, and that was the difference in the 1-0 Sky Blue FC win. Coming into tonight's play, that's the only penalty kick in NWSL that has not been converted. Let's see if Sky Blue can close this one out, guys.
Thank you. It's a good point. You know, it is a game changer. Lauren Barnes comes out, Lindsay Taylor in, so that's the last of the 3 substitutions for Seattle Reign. It's a very good point that Dan makes. It's just, we were talking about it before, too. That's that momentum save right there. Huge play.
Yeah, and usually goalies have to make 3 or 4 big saves during the course of each half of a game. That's been her first thus far. Let's see if Seattle can apply a little bit more pressure to allow her to step up again. But needless to say, O'Hara once again is free on that right-hand flank, Brett.
And she's free, and she's got the ball far side corner. O'Hara plays it towards the middle, then cuts it across with the left. It's cut out and cleared away by the Seattle back line, only as far as Thompson. Going to go back for O'Hara again. She'll set things up. O'Hara diagonal cross, getting ahead to it was number 16, Sophie Schmidt, trying to get that 4th goal of the season, and nearly did again.
Yet if there's anyone you want on the end of that header into the box, it was Schmidt. Great run once again, getting forward, really unmarked, no one within 2 or 3 yards of her, which is really still baffling to me, is how this Reign team hasn't put anybody on her or Devana. They're allowing them free runs into the box, and as I said, this game progresses the last 15 minutes or so. They're going to have a few more easy opportunities. It's just down whether they can convert them.
And the whistle is blown. Foul's going to go against Seattle. Sky Blue FC is going to have themselves a free kick. 78th minute here at Yurcak. Brett Luthner, Eric Studnicki, Dan Lauletta down at field level. It's 2-0 Sky Blue FC. Sky Blue has had plenty of chances, but Seattle's had a couple. One that they couldn't convert because of a little too hard of a touch, and one, a Brittany Cameron brilliant save to keep the sheet clean. 2-0, 78th minute.
Yeah, now their plan for this visiting team is going to be try to get a goal before this 85th minute, and in the last 5, just send everybody forward, try to get to equalizer. So very key for Sky Blue this next 5 to 8 minutes. Concentrate, clear your lines, create fouls if you need to.
This is played forward. Seattle trying to make a move here to get things to within 1. Still not quite out of the wood yet, Sky Blue FC. Diagonal, they're not going to get there. It's going to be a goal kick. It's, you know, listen, 2-0, as you said, most dangerous lead in soccer. And, well, they'll get official attendance. 1,459 on what has been a dreadful weather day. The soccer god's shining down on this one because we've had 79 minutes of no rain, and also pregame warm-ups there was no rain as well. It's been pouring here in New Jersey all day, only stopping pretty much about 2.5 hours, 3 hours before game time here in Piscataway. and the weather has held out, and hopefully tomorrow for all you mothers out there. By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Be remiss, including the mothers that are out here on the pitch right now. This one, I'm trying to just slice it, but instead it's neatly gathered up by Cameron. Hopefully Mother's Day here tomorrow is nice, and also where you are watching, whether it be at home or at a friend's house or on the road somewhere. We're glad you're enjoying it on YouTube 1 here, the NWSL Soccer channel page on YouTube 1, where Sky Blue FC has a 2-0 lead. Headed down, and now Sky Blue trying to come forward again. And they'll do so. And that's a foul, and you got to be careful of those that a booking doesn't get assessed here. Devanna's pleading for one. Instead, it'll just be a free kick in a relatively dangerous area here. And remember, they had a free kick in a similar situation earlier that this young lady, Christy Rampone, has done before, and happy Mother's Day to her. She has two beautiful daughters there. And she swings it in, and that led to the first goal here. Knocked around a bit, and no need to punch for Betos this time. I remember the days where Christy Rampone's youngins would roam the field after a game. One of these days, maybe on a 6 o'clock game on a Sunday night, I'll get my two little ones to jog around, and then all heck will break loose.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, keeping it in the family, getting them involved in the sport, giving back. And certainly she does summer camps around the state of New Jersey and her local community. Really tries to give back to the next generation of female soccer players, which is very important. Continue to pass your knowledge of the game on, show experience, show your class.
And Jim Gabarra giving it a little bit to the fourth official down there on the side. Cameron clears away. 81st minute. This does go out for a throw-in. 81st minute of a 2-0 Sky Blue FC lead. And I will say this, Miguel Pandora has not allowed either side to take advantage of a throw-in. Moving back. There's a good punch up high by Cameron to clear it away from danger. And the foul is going to go against Seattle. And that right there is the difference. It is, as we're just hearing, I don't know where the team's going to be after the game, but we've seen Betos a couple times. She's punched and it's gone down, and that led to the Adams goal to make it 1-0. There you saw Cameron. She punched it, and she punched it up so that everybody can get back, gather, and clear away more safely.
Yeah, to safety is what the goalies are taught. You have to get it outside of the 18 area. Don't allow that second ball to be picked up for that quick strike on goal. So needless to say, Cameron's technique, once again, comes up in trumps for her. And she's really had an outstanding last few games for me, at least. She's really kept the team in the game when need be. And unluckily for her, she got scored on Wednesday night, but that's behind her now as this last 8 minutes or so. She's going to look to try to get the shutout, which really boosts the goalkeeper's confidence in the back four, and it's systemic all the way up through the front of the team, Brett.
Yeah, throw in here for Seattle, as we're nearing the 83rd minute here at Yurcak Field. 2-0 Sky Blue FC with the lead. Trying to find out other scores, and right now haven't got much of a flow on them. Last check, Boston was up 1-0 on Washington, and Western New York was up 1-0 on Kansas City. And, of course, the great Abby Wambach having scored in that Western New York match, and I'm sure Rochester's going nuts over that one.
Yeah, that's what she's paid for. Scoring goals, big-time player, world class.
I'm going to say that again. And there's going to be the other world-class striker in that tandem is coming to town June 22nd. And that's when Alex Morgan and the Portland Thorns FC come into town. This one goes out for a goal kick. Gives us a chance to remind you, next match for Sky Blue FC here at Yurcak Field is June 1st at 7 p.m. when Sky Blue FC host the Boston Breakers. For tickets to that and all Sky Blue FC home games, go to the team's official website, skybluefc.com. And to follow all the goings-on in the National Women's Soccer League, you can visit the league's website. That's nwslsoccer.com. National Women's Soccer League action, and right here at Yurcak Field, it's 2-0. Sky Blue FC with the lead, looking to put 3 more points in the ledger. Sky Blue FC have only tasted one defeat thus far, and that was in Rochester. 2 wins and a draw coming in, looking to make it 3 wins. That'd be nice if they can get that going on here. By the way, you can follow the NWSL on Twitter at NWSL.
You can still see no desperation in this Seattle Reign side with 7 minutes left. Not playing direct, really. No movement off the ball. Players rather static, not trying to create any type of numbers up situations.
By the way, update, Lori Lindsay has scored in the 51st minute for the Washington Spirit. So Washington and Boston are tied at 1. And that happened about 20 minutes ago. And this one free. And offside flag had gone up. And taking a knock, another hard knock there is Devana as she tried to play through. And they're going to hold up. And now we're going to have ourselves a substitution. On for Sky Blue FC will be Melanie Booth, number 13. And I'd be interested to see who she's coming in for because, you know, it's right now it's a little bit difficult. I'm trying to see what the...
Well, she's a defender. They may take Devana off if she can't recover from that collision with the goalkeeper, Bitos. But once again, she came out strong, was energetic, got into that position, tried to chip the goalkeeper, very clever on her end. She seems like she's okay, so we'll see what Kabara does if he indeed takes a forward player off for another defender. Last 5 minutes, certainly you don't want to concede 1 goal, let alone 2, so now is the time you can incorporate that extra defensive player to really shore things up in the midfield area. Just play 2 lines of 4 across that central area. Don't allow the supply line of Seattle to get going in this last 5 minutes or so, Brett.
It looks like, you know, with Devana limping off, and she's favoring her right leg. It looks like Booth will be coming on for Devana as the 4th official is waiting for Devana to get to the sideline. And that is indeed the case. So Lisa Devana does come out, and that was set to go anyway. So and she is shaken up, limping noticeably on that right leg.
Yeah, she'll sleep well tonight. Another good effort by her. Very creative, very industrious, working for the cause, as I mentioned before. And that's really what's been the difference. And you like your forward players now. She can mix it up with her skill, her pace, her technique. And as a variety of attacking in different ways, it's very hard to contain her, Brett.
So here comes one going across and headed away nicely. And down over the bar. Oh, good job there. Seattle had almost pulled it within 1. But Sky Blue FC done well to clean off their line. I'm not quite sure. That was one of the substitutions. Taylor Lytle, number 6.
Yeah, and that was Lytle on that far post interior, holding it, was able to provide the clearance. And as I mentioned before, they're going to get a chance. That could have been it to make this game very interesting. So once again, Sky Blue up to the test, up to the challenge. Right place, right time for Lytle.
The 4th official must have said something to Jim Gabara because he sat right down the bench. Soon thereafter, probably said, "Don't come out of the technical area, sir," or something to that effect. Here comes a cross, which Cameron's just going to watch sail out and go for a goal kick.
Yeah, and that's that second opportunity on the cross that they just had, but too little, too late. Where was this during the first 85 minutes or so? Yeah. You can't keep your team on the back burner in this league. Teams will punish you going forward if you try to take that defensive stance. Chances are a team like Sky Blue with the trio of attacking players are going to get at you. They're going to continue to go forward and create problems. And for me, it's just too little, too late for the Seattle team as this game winds down to the last few minutes, Brett.
Played long and knocked around a bit middle of the pitch. Thompson gets ahead to it. Lytle. And again, loose ball. Finally gathered there by Seattle, Liz Bogus, and goes wide with it. Bogus now back on it. 88th minute here at Yurcak, nearing the 89th, and Seattle really has to show some desperation to push forward to get 1 back here and really make it interesting. And cleared away by Johnson. Headed down. 2 Seattle players on the ball. And eventually we'll try to come away with it. And instead, a foul's going to be given. And it's going to go against Sky Blue FC. And Nairn will take this free kick. And now here comes a plethora of white jerseys moving forward.
It's very important to stay focused, stay with your mark. You have to be touch tight, as they call it, create contact, no free runs at goal for this delivery. You can't give up one in this final minute, Brett.
7 white jerseys at the edge of the box, an 8th one just outside of it. Swung in, headed away, and this is going to go out for a goal kick. And Nair not too happy about it, nor is Fishlock. But the call doesn't go their way. Goal kick for Sky Blue FC here in the 89th as we head to the 90th.
And you can see once again there, Sky Blue first to that ball, took a deflection, that desire to win that first initial header, not allowing the flick down or the knock on.
Played it long, and nobody's going to touch it, so Seattle's going to get a throw in. And we'll see how much time will be added on here. My guess is 3 minutes.
You're probably right with that.
A lot of substitutions, but nobody scored here, so I'm guessing 3. It's not going to be one of those 6-minute deals that you sometimes see in the beautiful game. Played long, onside, but well out of the reach, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. As our 4th official goes to the table and gets his sign ready to let us know how much additional time there will be.
And that was Fishlock that time that overhit that pass, and Sky Blue did a very good job of taking her out of the game this evening, as you mentioned before, Brett. 3 minutes of added time. Well done, sir.
I get it right every now and again. Headed forward. Let's see if Sky Blue will add a 3rd one. As this goes out for a throw-in, Sky Blue FC, and Lytle will go take it. Oh, no, she won't. Initially started to go there and then peeled off. So 3 minutes of stoppage time here, and the crowd will, barring a miracle, and in all likelihood head home happy campers with the 3 points for Sky Blue FC. And what's been a convincing performance this evening for the ladies in navy blue.
Absolutely. A game they needed to win after Wednesday night's result. They came out, they were fortified, they were united, they hunted together, they believed. They created 2 great goal-scoring opportunities, and you mentioned before it could have been 3 or 4 more if goalkeeping play on the other end wasn't very good as well. So a great performance, as you just said, Brett.
Couple go wide of the bar, couple nice jobs by Betos to get onto the ball. In the end, Sky Blue FC looked to be coming away with the full allotment of points here. Headed away, and then down McCoskey. Play it wide. Now on to Lytle. Lytle takes a look, wants to play through, gets knocked back. McCoskey's just going to play the angle safely. And she takes Fishlock out of the play. Back in. Lytle again. Is that Lytle? No, it's actually Schmidt, number 16. It's played out. As we're nearing the end of this match, Miguel Panduro will take a look at his watch and see when time will be up. This is played out. Again, they're just going up the lines, content for throw-ins. A couple people in the crowd are whistling, hoping to get the final whistle here. Sky Blue FC just content with possession. This one put forward, and another one headed out for a throw-in. And now you're going to see the fence down there in the front row get crowded. As everyone going down for autographs will be making their way there. This one just played in the corner. Sky Blue again, full possession here, and in full possession of 3 points once the referee blows the final whistle. Nice job here of possessing, too, just to keep it away from Seattle. And Seattle finally gains it. But far too little here. Seattle in possession in the back. Still with it here through Noyola. Seattle will drop the result here. Still have yet to win a match on the season. Ball's long, and it's going to be chased down and then just watched. It goes out for a throw-in.
And you can see some of the reasons why they haven't been able to claw a match and a victory out. Really don't have all the pieces together as a complete team. Need to go back to the drawing board in terms of training, getting some cohesiveness between the attack and the midfield play. And as I mentioned before, they need to really start to put in more professional performances of desire, heart.
Should do it. And that does. There is the final whistle. Sky Blue FC, a convincing performance here this evening, getting the full 3 points. They are 2-0 victors over Seattle Reign FC. Denisha Adams in the 30th, Lisa Devanna in the 35th. Chance near the end of the first half for Seattle by Jessica Fishlock, but she had stumbled forward after her touch towards goal. Second half, another opportunity for Seattle, turned aside brilliantly by Brittany Cameron. And then Sky Blue FC completely took control of the match after that, and again, come away with the convincing victory this evening.
Yes, it was a performance that I expected them to put on tonight. They came out. They were a team with a mission to try to get back and recover from Wednesday night's game. They know that they had to go on the road 3 times on tough trips, especially when you're going to Portland, playing away in front of 16,000 fans can be daunting. So take care of business at home. Continue to build on the positive things, which is going forward for me. I think Devanna is outstanding once again tonight. You have other people contributing, O'Hara. You also have Adams chipping in with a goal. So things are starting to really look bright for this Sky Blue team as they are continuing to climb through this tough inaugural season of this league.
Seattle drops to no wins, a draw, and 4 defeats, and they've been outscored on the season 8-2. They still have just the 1 lone point. Sky Blue FC now goes up to 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. They've outscored their opponents 7-4 on the season. They are now at 10 points, and for the moment, tied with Portland atop the league. Of course, Portland does have a game tomorrow night. Boston is playing tonight. Kansas City's playing tonight. And if both those teams tie, Sky Blue FC will be in sole possession of second place. We go down to the field. Dan Lauletta's got somebody with her.
I'm here with Christy Rampone after the 2-0 Sky Blue win. Christy, it's Mother's Day in a few hours. I imagine that first half will be some good tape to show the kids about how to play good soccer.
Yeah, I think the team came out pretty strong tonight.
And you got involved on the free kicks.
Kind of play a little bit shorter, kind of swing it in because we don't have a lot of targets up top besides Coco, so we're trying to keep the ball, but, you know, when they get off the second ball.
You mentioned Lisa. She was very active challenging their back line, especially in the first half. Do you notice, does that affect you all the way to your own back line? Fan Club is here. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
We apologize for the technical difficulty down there. Sometimes it gets to be a little bit of an issue, but you get the point there. It's just you know, playing it forward. They don't have many options in the air to try to get to Coco, but tonight it ended up working out, where it comes right down to the foot of Denisha Adams. She jumps on to get the party started.
Yeah, and that was created by a foul on that flank area. And once again, Adams, Devanna, O'Hara, really that mobility, the creativity, which back four players don't like to face. It's very hard to face someone who's got a dribble, who can penetrate with passes, and has a variety of ways that they can go at you. So that being said, that's what Sky Blue has really done a good job in these 3 games at, trying to incorporate the 3-headed attack, trying to make a difference in the offensive third. And as this season progresses, with teams being more and more comparable in the middle of the table, that's what's really going to set them apart to try to get to the top. So busy game coming up. They play Portland away, which is going to be a test to them. But if they come out and they just show the desire and heart and effort, they have a very good chance of not only winning that game and getting the 3 points, but really going out there and showcasing the attacking prowess that this team possesses.
So our final score here, 2-0. Sky Blue FC get the full points. They defeat the Seattle Reign here at Yurcak Field. The next Sky Blue FC home game, June 1st, 7 p.m., Sky Blue FC play host to the Boston Breakers. For tickets to that and all Sky Blue FC home games, go to the team's website, skybluefc.com. Sky Blue's next game, by the way, it's on Thursday night, the 16th, at Portland, and then 3 nights later, it's a Sunday night matchup at Seattle. And then they finish up the road trip on the 25th at Kansas City before they finally do come home. Once again, our final score, 2-0, Sky Blue FC with the victory. For Dan Lauletta down the field, level. Eric Studnicki beside me. Dave Keeble doing a great job on the camera, filling in a pinch. My name is Brett Luthner. Once again, our final score from Yurcak Field. Sky Blue FC 2 and Seattle Reign FC 0. Good night from Yurcak.